February the 17th, 2026. Let's gather together, experience the goodness of God. I'm Pastor Trey Comstock. We'll begin with our scripture of the week. Genesis, 2 selections from Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, verses 15 through 17, and then Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. Then Pastor Emily Larson and I will talk about scripture, and more specifically, how none of the people in the story of Adam and Eve and the snake and the tree and the not an apple are following any of John Wesley's 3 general rules. But first, a reading from Genesis chapter 2, verses 15 through 17, and then jumping to Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. The Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. And the Lord commanded the man, "You may eat freely of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat it you shall die." Now there was a serpent. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other wild animal that the Lord had made. He said to the woman, "Did God say you shall not eat of any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said, you shall not eat the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, nor shall you touch it, or you shall die." But the serpent said to the woman, "You will not die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So when the woman saw the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took its fruit and ate it. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made loincloths for themselves. This is not the main point. But I want to make a very important observation about what this scripture literally says. This is something we've talked about before. This is something that is the cornerstone of my Adam and Eve lesson in Speed Dating the Old Testament. Adam is standing right there. He right there.
He heard everything. Yes.
This is all of this later shenanigans about Adam was tricked. This is evil temptress woman. No, he is standing right there. He is right there.
Adam was also there.
Right. And the only difference between the two of them is that Eve has ambition and Adam is an idiot. But they are both in the wrong. And again, the punishment phase is not in this lection, but they are both punished. God clearly thinks they're both wrong. But then we have spun this out into this whole sexist paradigm of Adam was tricked and it's this tempt, and did he even know that it was? Yes, he knew he's standing. Much like Mary, he knew. He's right there.
He knew. Well, and this is why. So women still get the joke today. I have had this joke said to me of how come women can never decide where to go out to eat? Because the last time they picked, they doomed all of humanity, right?
Yeah, no, it's great.
No, this is not how that works, right? But we still have that joke today, and it still gets told this way.
And it's still not accurate to this text.
Right. It's easier to just give Eve all the blame, right?
Right. And Eve has ambitions. I've often described Eve as the valedictorian of her class. Eve is the one who's like, well, it would be good to know more than I know. And then this time, know more than I'm supposed to know. Right? Eve has ambitions. Adam is dumb as a bag of hammers. But they are both wrong.
Equally
wrong. And I get that this is just not the main point I'm making today, but it is one of those things that the more I have stared at this text and then how this text has been deployed across this interpretive history, I just go, we just wanted to come after women. That's all it was. We just wanted to come after women. We just it's this evil temptress woman. We need to control the women. You know what they're like. And I'm like, have you met Adam?
He was there.
He was
standing right here.
And he watched her do it. And we don't know what's going through his head because nothing.
Not a lot.
It's that weird buzzing sound. So I won't name the Duggar because they turned out fine, but there was one Duggar that was very clearly terrible in a crisis back when 19 Kids and Counting was funny and not deeply tragic.
Deeply sad.
We've talked about before. But it was like some crisis would be happening, and you just look like the weird buzzing, like this weird buzzing sound must have been happening, like right,
like there's just nothing going on up
head
here.
empty. All along for the ride. Adam, like Eve hands him, like Eve's doing this, and it's just all that's happening in there is This is not a good excuse. I don't know, God. I was too dumb.
Well, the woman gave it to yeah, dude, you were standing right there.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, God, like the woman that you gave me, this is literally his line, right? The woman you gave me this apple and I ate it. And like, you ever want to watch God look like, Jean-Luc Picard, just like,
like, what are we doing? What?
If he only had a brain. So they're both, I just want to be clear, the
equally
literal words of the Bible are, they're there together. Eve has ambition and gets an inner monologue, and she is wrong, but she's at least interesting. She has there's
a little bit of personality in Eve.
Yes, personality, and she is the brains of the outfit. And show that we're like, the brains can get you in trouble. Adam is an example where being dumb as a bag of hammers
dumb and complicit, yes,
can make you be complicit. I don't know. Like, I was just standing right there, and like I knew that like we weren't supposed to eat that, but then she like handed it to me, and like I knew what the fruit was. Because, like, again, I was right there. Yes, Adam is now Dylan.
Everybody is Dylan. Yeah.
There was we rented a bounce house for Esther's birthday, and the guy who runs the bounce house company's name is Dylan. And I said in a text to my wife, hey, I need you to get there to when Bounce House Dylan arrives. And she thought I meant, like, so Dylan is this character that I played in VBS that is now the name behind my Theodore Logan voice. This is Dylan. And she thought I meant Bounce House Dylan, comma, derogatory. No, his name literally Dylan. And so then I called him Bounce House Dylan.
To differentiate between
right.
The Dylans in your life.
The Dylans in my life, that it wasn't just like Dylan. But so that was Bounce House Dylan. This is not like Adam is just like I know that, like, I knew where we were, right? Like there's only like the one tree, and you did show it to me. And then I was looking at the tree, and then like Eve, she got the thing down from the tree, and there was like a snake, and he was saying like, no, dude, it's chill. And I was like, I don't think so. But then, like, Eve handed me the fruit, and I ate it. Not better, buddy.
Not any better.
Not better. Like, that's... Everyone in this scene is just a problem.
Right.
Right? You have the serpent, who then gets kind of interpreted into the character of Satan. Fair enough. Certainly the tempter here. And he's like, hey, like, he doesn't lie exactly, right? Although they do eventually die because of this. And it's just, you don't die immediately. And so they don't die immediately. It's like, hey, you're not going to die immediately. And you're going to know some like really cool stuff. And
in the meantime,
Eve is wrong. She like gives in to this temptation of ambition. And she drags Adam into this. Sort of by like, hey, you want some of this? And Adam's wrong because he takes it, right? He just goes along. He goes along with the crowd, and everyone is just wrong.
Equally wrong.
All in different ways. You have one who's like deliberately provoking another. You have one that is really putting themselves in the place of God, which really sits at the root of a lot of sin, is putting
Right.
yourself in the place of God. And you have one who is just going along with the crowd, and none of it is okay.
Correct.
And so this is the start of Lent. Happy Lent. Welcome to it.
Hi, happy Ash Wednesday.
Happy Ash Wednesday when you're going to be listening to this. We said it's Tuesday at the start.
It's Mardi Gras. Yeah.
It is when we're recording this. I have to hand out ashes at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. It is currently 10:20. This is not getting edited tonight. And so you're actually not going to get this as Ash Wednesday. So happy Lent as you're listening to this.
Happy Lent.
And so the way I'm framing all of Lent is throughout all of Lent, we're going to be focusing on Wesleyan theology. This is one of these recognitions that a lot of United Methodists have no idea what John Wesley is about. And I think we think that everyone just kind of knows this.
Well, because we had to have it studied and drilled into us so much through seminary.
Right. But I think back of how little I knew. I always go back. And again, I might be unique in this. I was uniquely poor as a United Methodist Christian prior to going to seminary. There are a lot of things I didn't know.
Yeah, same.
You will tell me you learned that in confirmation, to which I will say, I completed confirmation when I was 12. I started seminary when I was 25, 26, however old I was in 2011. So sometime rapidly between 1999 and 2011, I unlearned all of it.
All of these things. Yeah. If I ever heard a sermon on these 3 simple rules, I don't remember it as a kid who grew up in a Methodist church. Right.
And that is, so this whole sermon series goes back to one of my core problems with a lot of the debates we have in Methodism, which is we decided that the core conflict, that like what made Wesleyan orthodoxy, right? This was this whole thing of like, there's this whole movement within what was then United Methodism that has now grown into the Global Methodist Church that declared themselves Wesleyan orthodoxy. That was their term for themselves. They call themselves Wesleyan Orthodox. And what they decided was at the core of Wesleyan Orthodoxy was that 2 men could not get married in a Methodist church.
Right.
And that is not the thing that John Wesley, if he came back from the dead, which, okay, we're getting into a Witch of Endor problem.
Yes.
I know that's not how this works. But if he were to come back from the dead and walk around and look at modern Methodism, he would probably not primarily be mad at who was marrying who in committed, loving relationships. He would be probably thoroughly ticked, and it's John Wesley, he would be thoroughly ticked that most Methodists don't know the 3 general rules.
Yeah.
That most Methodists cannot tell the difference, that don't know prevenient, justifying, and sanctifying
the means of grace.
That most Methodists are not a member of a small group.
Right.
Like that's the stuff. Like
that's the stuff that he cared a whole lot about.
We've talked
and
about
preached
this before.
Often.
There were literal punch cards.
Yeah.
There were literal. I've seen them. There were literal punch cards. I was at a small, like across the street from one of the main Methodist churches in Oxford. They're not called churches in England. I want to use precise language. They're called chapels. We can't have churches. We have chapels. Methodist chapels. It was a big steepled church, but they're called chapels because only the Church of England and the Catholics can have churches, but the non-conforming churches, like the Methodists, have chapels. Anyways, doesn't matter, except it does matter to me clearly. So anyways, like they have like the punch cards, and you would, when you went to small group, you would get your card punched, and if you didn't get enough punches, John Wesley would kick you out.
Yep.
Like
no communion for you.
Well, no, but like because he knew, again, he wasn't running a church at the time. He was running a discipleship movement that eventually, kind of against his own desires,
became a denomination.
he always imagined he largely imagined like you would go to the Church of England for like baptism and weekly worship and communion and whatever, and marriages and burials and I guess
all the things.
All the things. And then you would also go to the Methodist societies, to your Methodist small group for additional discipleship.
Yes.
Now, after the Revolutionary War, things got a bit weird in America, and the Church of England was not real popular.
Yeah. For reasons. If you revolt against a country, then you know.
So anyways, that's when John Wesley kind of started ordaining people and realizing that like if the Church of England's not going to provide the sacraments in America, the Methodists will, I guess, and we become a denomination that way. But it was kind of a real ad hoc in response to, it was not the vision.
It was not his original goal, for sure.
And so that's why he could kick people out. But back to my original point. The genesis of this series, it's entitled The Method, as I committed to last week on Out Loud, is the thing I then went on and did. It is called The Method. And he really would be angry, upset that we don't actually learn the things that were at the core of what it meant to be Methodist. We're like, Methodist.
That we don't follow the method.
We don't follow the
Methodist.
method. We don't know the method. We don't even know that Methodism is a name that's a joke. It's a joke.
It was originally meant to be a dig.
It was a dig at the Holy Club. Was like, oh, you people are so. I need a posh British accent. Hold on. Yes, here we go. It's in here. Yes, get a posh British accent. You need to say the word yes like it's the word ears. Yes, yes. Oh, people, you Methodists. It's like you have a method for salvation. Oh, I'm so proper and funny. Yes. And so they're like, yeah, fine.
We'll
Methodist.
take your name. We'll be called the
John
Methodists.
Wesley often called like the people so-called Methodists. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, Doc. Fine. We're the Methodists.
Yeah, whatever.
Bite me. It is, you know, this is John Wesley's, punk rock era. So we don't even know. We don't know that our name's a dig, like us owning a dig. We don't know the 3 general rules. We don't know the 3 kind typology of grace. We don't know the way of salvation. We are not a member of a small group. Like,
we're not saying acts of piety. Like, we're not doing the things, the method things.
We're not doing the method.
John Wesley. Yeah, we're not doing the method.
It starts with the 3 general rules, which are do no harm, do good, attend to the ordinances of God. If this sounds kind of like Micah, it's because it is.
It is. It's Micah 6:8.
It's Micah 6:8. It is the law of the prophets is love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. It is it has all of the love God, love neighbor, and then has a really interesting approach to sin, which we see play out here with Adam and Eve. Everyone in this scene is doing harm to something or somebody, right?
Yes.
The snake is doing harm. Eve does harm. Adam does harm. They all do harm to their relationship with God. They each do harm to themselves. A couple of them are also doing harm to others. There's a lot of harm being done. And so step 1 is do no harm, then do good, then attend to the ordinances of God. But being John Wesley, it wasn't, the man wrote a lot.
Yeah, I've been reviewing it this week for your for your series.
So I pulled up what John Wesley's explication, and these we've talked about these before. This is not necessarily new material, but I just want to read some of the ways that John Wesley, in this very 18th century British way, what he thought was harmful, and some of them will make you go, yeah, and some of them will make you go, oh, we live in a different time.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah.
First, by doing no harm, by avoiding evil of every kind, especially that which is most generally practiced, such as taking the name of God in vain. It's a 10th commandment. the profaning of the day of the Lord, either by doing ordinary work therein or by buying and selling. Drunkenness, buying or selling spirituous liquors. Okay, one quick note about the spirituous liquors. He's on to something specifically for the time. So one of the main kinds of spirituous liquor at that time available to working class Britons was bathtub gin.
Right.
If someone has made bad bathtub gin, you are going to die of your bathtub gin.
Yep.
And so part of the no spirituous liquors thing is related to the no drunkenness thing, but also the don't die from bathtub gin thing.
Yeah.
I, too, agree. Do not die of bathtub gin. Now, at one point, I did live in a United Methodist student ministry that was, as they often are, perpetually strapped for cash. And what we thought of doing was making gin in the bathtub. We never did it. We never did it. I want to be clear. We never did it. But we did contemplate, what if we made bathtub gin? And then someone reminded us that John Wesley hated bathtub gin, and I still was into the idea. Anyways, or you don't drink them unless this is just great. Unless in a cases of extreme necessity.
I mean, this is where medicinal purposes comes to mind. But what is an extreme necessity?
This is an extreme necessity. God, I had a terrible.
That's kind of vague.
Slave holding. Buying or selling slaves. By the way, this is in 1739.
Yep.
This is 1739. John Wesley is saying, don't buy slaves. Anyways, there's a few other things, but it is both stuff about harming you and stuff about harming others. There's also all these things about don't get into fights. Don't sue each other. Don't rail against each other. I do need read the one that says don't defame ministers. Hold on. I forgot one that I definitely we need to be talking about. Where is it? It's in here.
Which we definitely have done against some ministers who have fallen from grace.
Yeah. Shoot. It was okay. Here we go. Uncharitable or unprofitable conversation, particularly speaking evil of magistrates or of ministers. I'm just gonna float that out there.
Lord forgive us. Yeah.
The putting on of gold and costly apparel, the taking of such diversions as cannot be used in the name of the Lord Jesus, the singing of those songs or reading those books which do not tend to the knowledge of the love of God, soft and needless self-indulgence, laying up treasure upon the earth, borrowing without a probability of paying. What would he? Yeah, student loans. Or taking up goods without a profitability, without a probability of paying them. It is expected of all who continue in these societies that they should continue to evidence their desire of salvation. Again, John Wesley, he's hardcore.
Yeah, not an exclusive list, but a pretty good long list there.
It's punchy.
It is.
And it gets at the what we see in this list is that don't harm yourself. Don't harm others. That the nature of sin is contained in both of those things. That it is not his. I like this pitch on don't sin. It isn't don't sin because God has an arbitrary list of things, and you just
and God will come after you if you do that. Yeah, exactly.
It is don't do harm
to yourself or others.
This gets it a much healthier conversation, even if in the 21st century we might find some of these things a little different than how we would think about harming yourself or others. The spirituous liquor thing is not as nuts as it sounds in days of modern health standards.
But this is also not an exclusive list, right? This is including but not limited to, right?
Right.
There are other things that harm yourself and others that are not included here. Clearly.
But this is to give you a general sense of when we're talking about, don't sin. If this story of Adam and Eve and the snake in the tree are the story of what gets called original sin, at the core of sin in this, in Wesley's view of the world, and this is something, one of those aspects of Wesley's theology I particularly connect with, is sin and its relationship to harm, not just there are rules and you will follow them. Why are there rules? There are rules so that we don't hurt ourselves and we don't hurt others.
Yes. And we don't hurt our relationship with God.
Right. And that is, we see everybody in this scene doing a lot of harm. And that is, but Wesleyan theology doesn't stop at don't sin. It then makes the next jump to do good. It is, take care of each other. Taking care of each other. We bring this up often on the show. It is my favorite part of the doing good. One of the things by doing good is buying from your community.
Shop local.
By doing good, especially to them that are in the household of faith or groaning to be so, employing them preferably to others, buying one of another, helping each other in business, and so much more because the world will love its own and them only. It by all possible diligence and frugality, that the gospel might not be blamed. Right. So there's both buy from each other and
take care of your community.
Your means so that you are in a condition to care for others rather than needing care.
Right.
It is
so that you may do good.
Right. So it is the Protestant work ethic in a non-psychotic explanation of it, of not just work because it's good to do work, but take care of your own stuff such that you have a capacity to help others.
Right. Taking care of your community, being an integral part of your community. This is where small groups were especially helpful because you had a community to take care of.
Well, and the small group bit, and we'll get to this. We'll do back to back both Palm Sunday and Maundy Thursday touch on kind of, a whole one is entitled the Maundy Thursday sermon is literally titled the Holy Club.
Holy Club. I'm excited about that week. It's going to be a good one.
And Palm Sunday is entitled Social Holiness. And so this kind of what are we doing together is that's the accountability mechanism for you living into these kinds of things.
Yes.
That John Wesley is really good at, he writes a lot. He's good at laying out these things. He is not writing for scholars. He is writing for working class humans. And so he can take something like sanctification or how am I supposed, people are looking at me and going, I am feeling, literally these rules are generated because this group of people comes to him in 1739 and are I am feeling really convicted of my sin. What should I do about it? And John was how do I explain to you how this works? Okay.
Right.
Step 1, do no harm. I could look at you and say,
stop doing the harm that you're already doing. Do no more.
I could look at you and say, don't sin, but that's theological. I'm going to let me explain. Let me sum up. There's no time.
Let me sum up. There's no time. Yeah.
Do no harm. Okay. And then do good. So do no harm. Stop hurting yourself. Stop hurting others. By the way, if you're not take care of yourself, then also you're being a burden to others, right? So stop harming you, stop harming others. All that stuff's intimately related. Okay. Do good. Take care of each other. Not just in the oh, bless your heart, I'm gonna pray for you. But
I'll pray for you. Yeah.
No,
actually, literally take care of one another.
Make sure it says feed the hungry, but also buy from your community, and so that
employ your community,
so that the people immediately around you have the means to care for themselves. Also, don't live a profligate life yourself so that you have capacity to help others. Is this connecting? Okay, and then the last bit, attend to the ordinances of God. This is a fairly simple list. It really is like pray, read the Bible, go to church, take the sacraments, like actually do some things to stay connected to God.
Yes.
Do no harm, do good, attend to the ordinances of God. And if we think about this simple. In the Adam and Eve, like Adam and Eve are our frame, Adam and Eve and the snake are our frame for this. They have not stayed in touch with what God, with getting to know God and understanding God. They could have asked God, hey, God, tell me more about this tree.
Should I do this?
Hey,
Why
God,
should I not do this? Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Hey, God, like they don't do that. They do not attend to the ordinances of God. They do not stay in touch with God. They listen to the snake. And no one is thinking about, how do I do good here? Adam could have thought about, no.
Right. Let's stop this here. No.
John Wesley's list is like, hey, extort other people. Like, don't shout at them in the street corner. Find healthy ways to challenge people. But one of the things in doing good is challenging people who you are close to, who are about to do wrong. You know the thing Adam could have done?
Speaking truth in love.
Adam could have done?
No, Eve, let's not do that. Remember, God said not to.
Remember? God said we shouldn't do that.
Totally.
Except. Instead, he's like, look, God, the woman handed me the fruit. And I was like, cool.
Okay, cool, man.
Okay. He hadn't, like.
He doesn't stop it.
He could have stopped it.
He does not do the good that would have stopped it.
Like, obviously, the snake isn't doing good. And obviously, Eve makes a bad choice. And then invites Adam to make a bad choice. Doesn't make it primarily her fault. It's just laying out, like, how no one followed the simple rule, the general rules here, and how they would be really useful in these kinds of situations.
In that context in particular,
because Adam could have gone, no,
and that would have been good.
Supposed to do that. You should not. We're supposed to be in this together. And God said no. And he just doesn't do it. No one did the things. And so this is literally the first example of what not to do.
Right.
We've talked about the sassy gay friend YouTube videos.
Yes, we have.
This is an ancient piece of internet lore that is out there. It's still out there. It's still accessible. Where it's different famous like fictional or whatever leading ladies, and how their lives would have been different if only they had a sassy gay friend.
A sassy gay best friend.
And then the sassy gay friend shows up. And so it's like, the end of Hamlet. And, Ophélia's going to kill herself. And, the sassy gay friends, you're whatever,
better off with that. Yeah, don't do this. Yeah.
Don't do this. It involves one of my favorite lines, which is, something is wrong in the state of Denmark and it's his piss poor attitude. Right. Whatever. But one of them is Eve. And he shows up and
forgot about that.
Yes. So one of the episodes of Sassy Gay Friend is if only Eve had a sassy gay friend. And that is the example. If only Eve had a person willing to do good in this situation and talks
and stop her
out of eating the apple, and it ends better, and it's very funny. And then he's attracted to Adam because it's a sassy gay friend anyways.
Right.
But I think about, I may have to find a sermon way to talk about if only Eve had a sassy gay friend. If only Eve had somebody willing to stand up and say, Eve, you really shouldn't do this. This is also, by the way, where that line I use, write a sad, sad poem in your journal.
Yeah.
That's where this comes from. That's from the Hamlet episode of Sassy Gay Friend. Also this one for Juliet. You took a roofie from, you've known him for 5 days. You took a roofie from a priest. Slow down, crazy.
Slow down. Yep.
But anyways, I think of the Eve, especially imagining this in this world of John Wesley's 3 general rules, I really picture that sassy gay friend showing up and going, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Or as Adam could have, since he was like, standing right there. But yes, it could have just been,
If someone was willing to step up and do good here, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps us all get through it when we are all looking out both. And God love John Wesley. It is this really holistic way, right? Like,
yes.
John Wesley talks about ways you can do spiritual harm and literal harm. It is both don't slander the minister, don't gossip, don't get really drunk, and don't own slaves.
Right. Social justice, also very into health and wellness, wrote a whole book about that too.
Also really into electroshock.
Yeah.
I've seen his electroshock chair.
It's very interesting.
Look, they really thought electricity was going to solve everything.
He was a very well-rounded individual, I guess. He had a lot to say about theology, about social justice,
health and wellness. He was a wellness influencer.
He was one of the original wellness influencers. There was a pamphlet. It went around. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to find. He wrote this whole book of like wellness stuff that he then sent with the circuit writers. And it has been one of my great goals to own a copy of that book. That's the rare Methodist book that I need next. In my weirdly growing, let me flex on Scott Jones that one time that I owned. I guess I can talk, whatever. I'll talk about this. I've brought it up now. I'm telling this story. I was called into the principal's office or whatever. And so I'm in then Bishop Scott Jones's office. And he had like a little a display of rare Methodist books on the coffee table between us. And I had one of the books that he had on display. And I said, I have a copy of that too. And then I said, do you have Jackknife and Brambles? And he's like, what? I've not even heard of that book. And I'm like, oh yes, I have a first edition copy. My wife gave it to me when I got into seminary. And so I had a rare Methodist book that he had not even heard of.
Nice.
And it was a very proud moment for me as just a terrible person. You thought I was just video games and typewriters. Oh no. Also rare Methodist books. I have an 1894 book of discipline. Why?
Yep.
Who knows? But I do. Anyways, the rare Methodist book I want next
is his health and wellness.
Is his health and wellness guide. Because I feel like as a Wesleyan person with both John Wesley tattooed on my body and a master's in public health, this book is directly the intersection of his and my two interests. There's a reason I like this guy. Even if he can sometimes be a bit of a problematic fave. But like there is this both in the harm and the good. It is holistic. It is not just, don't spiritually harm people. Don't own slaves.
Right. Like, social justice.
Don't fight with people. Don't harm others physically. And the good is like, you see someone who's hungry, feed them. You see someone who's naked, like, clothe them. Also, if you see someone you love about to eat the apple, tell them not to.
Right. Speaking truth in love. Big deal.
Be that sassy gay friend. There will be a link in the show notes.
There has to be now. We've brought up the sassy gay friend too often now. Yeah.
I'm going to post the Hamlet, the Eve.
The Adam and Eve one. Yeah.
It's maybe not appropriate for children. It is grown up humor. But I'm going to have to post it now because
It's just too perfect. Yeah.
Because it is, especially Eve, it is the image that I want you to imagine. Just imagine this is what Adam could have been.
Right.
And then it is, remember, this is always about being close to God.
Yes.
Much like Micah, much like all of this, right? That is that balance of love and care holistically, both in your avoiding of sin and your doing of good. And remember, this is always about God.
Yes. Very holistic viewpoint.
And it's great. And why don't we talk about it more?
Why did we not know more about this growing up in Methodist churches?
Right.
We probably should have heard some more sermons about it.
Right. You would think. And I guess they thought like, oh, it's just like so overplayed. I'm like, I'm 11. Like, it's not.
It's not.
I almost want, like, I don't often think about approaching sermons like a teacher where you would like pre-test and post-test.
Yeah.
But this is one where I really like.
Yeah. How much Methodism do you actually know?
I might open with just like, hey, if you went to seminary, because I have a few folks in my congregation who have, you do not get to answer this question. Those of you without a seminary education, who can name one of the 3 general rules?
Yep.
And by the way, the title, I'm not going to say this, by the way, the title of the sermon is one of them. The title of the sermon is Do No Harm.
Yep.
But like, can you do it?
Just do a survey, see who knows.
Right.
Who knows what? Because, yeah, I don't remember hearing a sermon on this growing up.
Me neither. It must have been covered in confirmation. But Lord knows I don't remember.
I don't remember it in confirmation. And I have seen confirmation curriculums and taught confirmation curriculums that didn't include it as well. So, no, I don't think we talk about it enough.
I remember the weird claymation history of Methodism. I remember going to a synagogue. I remember going to an African-American United Methodist Church. I remember end of list. I
remember doing the creed, but yeah, that other than that, there's no.
I did have to memorize the creed, but that was because, and I did confirmation twice. I realized because I did it at my aunt's church to keep me busy during the summer, and then I did it at my own church for an entire school year.
Yeah,
and I remember the Apostles' Creed, and I had to memorize it. And I remember the claymation video.
Yep.
And I remember the visits. And that's it.
Yeah. We should probably make sure this is included in some confirmation curriculums going forward.
And that is why I'm doing this. Because I showed up to seminary knowing very little about anything.
Right.
Other than the Bible. I mean, I knew a lot about the Bible because I'd essentially minored in this minor didn't exist at my college, but I essentially created a minor in biblical lit. And so like I knew a lot about scripture by the time I got there. Not that I learned that in church either. I learned that in college. But without knowing anything.
Right.
So anyways, do no harm. Don't be like Eve and the snake and Adam.
Right.
Do good. Unlike Adam, who definitely could have done some good there. Yes, he could. And no, he didn't. And attend the ordinances of God. I would love to know, prior to this podcast, what is your exposure to, if you are Methodist. I know we have non-Methodist listeners. This is an ad for Methodism. This series is in some ways why I am a Methodist.
Right.
Because Lord knows I have renounced plenty of things that I grew up, and this is not one of them. I have the man on my left arm. It's great. I'm a psychopath. I would love to know your exposure to the 3 general rules, because I get the sense that it's one of those things that like upper level Methodists just assume everybody knows, and I don't think everybody knows. Email us.
Yeah.
The goodness of God pod at gmail.com. That is the goodness of God pod at gmail.com. We are the Divine Provisions Co., and we need your help now more than ever. No, we need your help. Like, comment, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcast. If you would like to be financially involved in the life of the show, you can go to divineprovisions.co and click the donate button. You can also just share content we've made. That just helps the stuff go further and helps us be more sustainable. If you do want more of what we do, you can find us on all the things at Divine Provisions Co. TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, Facebook at Divine Provisions Co. and divineprovisions.co on the internet. And go in peace to love and serve the Lord. We'll see you next time.